Really important for athletes to have a coach. It doesn't matter what age they are, what sort of background they have, because there's so many components to sports performance. There's sports nutrition, psychology, exercise physiology, sports science, previous competitive background, and there's very few athletes out there that have even one of those as their background. So a coach can provide that information for an athlete, and that will fast track their performance. So you obviously won't give the same training to a day one week on triathlete as you would to somebody who's preparing for the World Championships. The problem with all this online information is you have all these cookie cutter training programs, and that's where people just go very wrong, because they look at what is on the web. The web doesn't know what your work schedule is, what your background is, what your injury background is, what your biomechanical status is, what your physiological status is, what best days is to swim. It tells you nothing about tapering. So that's why coaching is invaluable to most athletes, because it allows the coach to take into consideration all those factors. And basically, performance at the highest level, or performance at any level, really is about the aggregation of marginal gains. And the aggregation of marginal gains are all the factors that conspire to affect your performance. So sleep, nutrition, tapering, work, rest, training, days off, recovery days, massage, prehabilitation, rehabilitation, all those factors have to be maximized and to realize a performance at the end of the day. And really only a coach can do that. I competed in the ultra distance events, double Ironman, triple Ironman, 10 times Ironman. I had 4 corporate sponsors, the biggest one of which was Red Bull. I had bonus payments, I got prize money. So I was able to live as a professional athlete, which was my dream. You know, I knew I'd never be able to retire. It's not like a golfer where you can play a couple of events and then retire. It's not like that in triathlon. But I was able to do these events around the world, compete at the highest level. I'm an NCCP certified coach. I train a wide range of athletes. Boston Marathon qualifiers. I train Ironman World Championship qualifiers. Also athletes who are just starting out, day one, week one athletes, runners, triathletes, adventure runners, adventure athletes.
Myself, I need to be accountable to someone, and Erik would send me emails once a week updating me on how I'm doing, my status, concerns he has in my training, as well as he'd email me my daily schedule every morning so I'd see what I'd have to do. He always talks about tying in the science behind the sports and of the human body into our training to maximize our performance and our results while we train and also while we race.
So the way the coaching and mobile health network intersect is basically in the area of prehabilitation and rehabilitation. Obviously, I take a preemptive approach. I remind my athletes all the time to do massage, to do foam rolling, to do plyometrics. All this is integrated into their schedule. Some of them aren't as religious as they should be, and so sometimes those athletes get injured and they end up here. So they end up being treated by Sharon or one of the physios.
It's a privilege to be able to work with him as a therapist, in that I can assess his athletes, see how they're moving, if there's any weak areas that need to be improved, whether it's strength or flexibility. I'm able to give that feedback back to the coach, and then from there he can incorporate drills and strength exercises to get his athletes stronger so that they can compete well.
I love the sport. I love triathlon, and I love the process of coaching. The feedback I get from athletes once they realize a goal, that's priceless. It really is.